This is going to be a tough one. Genesis Breyer P-Orridge, the legendary frontperson of Throbbing Gristle, has passed away this morning at 70 from cancer. This does not come as a surprise to people who knew Genesis or were following their social media presences. Genesis has spoken oftentimes in a very sardonic way about their illness, embracing their struggle while also making themselves very, very vulnerable in the process. But still, this is an incredible loss for both the industrial community, but really also the art world in general. If you asked a dozen people, each of them would probably come up with a different project that Genesis was involved in that touched them. Maybe it's Coom Transmission, the late 60s, early 70s performance art troupe that oftentimes indulged in incredibly transgressive happenings, including violence and explicit sex in front of audiences. Be it the documentary on their life, The Ballad of Genesis and Lady J, which documented their work and life with Lady J. Breyer P-Orridge, who sadly passed away 12 and a half years ago. Be it, as I said, through Throbbing Gristle, pretty much the Beatles of the industrial movement, creating 3 absolutely perfect standout albums that defined not just a small bubble of underground music, but also inspired electronica, inspired, especially in the last few years, many people from marginalized backgrounds to pick up making music, but also for people who are a little bit into the weirder side of underground lifestyles. For example, via Genesis' founding of the Temple of Psychic Youth, their creation of a wholly unique set of linguistic twists which they apply to pretty much every post they did on social media, or be it just in the influence of other musicians and acts such as, for example, Coil or Nine Inch Nails. The list goes on and on. Genesis, as a person, as much as through their art, has touched a lot of people's lives and lastingly shaped the underground and avant-garde scene of the post-70s era. So in their memory, I would like to inspire you to, maybe if you have never indulged in one of them, pick up one of Throbbing Gristle's legendary key albums and give it a spin, maybe for the very first time. Maybe put on Decoder, the subversive German underground film from the early 80s that features Genesis in a small but very memorable performance. Listen to a few Psychic TV records, as they probably are the best example of Genesis' weird humor and weird ability to combine styles and artistic choices into a very unique, oftentimes heterogenic whole that still impresses and outlasts the eras that they were made in. Or just read about their life a little, about their experiences in post-war Britain, to them picking up the Pandrogyny project, which saw Genesis modify their body to become more like that of their sadly shortly afterwards deceased partner Lady J. Whatever it is that you take away from Genesis P-Orridge's rich artistic output, I hope that you will leave this video with the realization that we have lost one of the great artists of the last 60 years. A figure that has lastingly inspired the creator of this channel and so many more. So no matter how you pay your respects, be it in giving a little spin to Hamburger Lady or United or Convincing People or any of the other great Throbbing Gristle tracks that they sang on and co-wrote, or by just leaving a little note on their social media, please remember that there probably will never be anyone in this world like Genesis Breyer P-Orridge.